In-N-Out Burger in the US is a very sort of, a West Coast burger joint. They have a very limited menu. It essentially says burger, three types of burger, three types of fries, three types of drink. That's it. What you gradually begin to understand is that there's a secret menu. You just need to know how to ask for it. So if you go into an In-N-Out Burger and you ask for a burger animals style, which isn't on the menu, but you find out virally or online, it comes in a different format. It comes in a different way. I actually think it comes with sort of a slightly different sort of patty in the burger. So what you do is you begin to sort of realize and unlock this kind of secret menu over time. Another really nice example, I think, is there's a sort of clothing aggregator called Mr. Porter. So in essence, it brings together a bunch of sort of fashion brands. And one of the lovely things that it does is it repackages everything. So all the packaging comes in the Mr. Porter packaging. So irrespective of what brand you bought it from, it comes in the beautiful Mr. Porter packaging. And it comes with a little personalized note in each one. So actually it has your name, it's hand scripted, it talks about thanks for shopping with us, etc. So that's a really lovely surprise. And I think from our own work, probably my favorite example of a surprise that we built into something which was probably the least sexy service you can imagine, which is getting your broadband installed. So the company we were working with, they essentially had online bookings for slots to be able to book an engineer to come around and fit your broadband for that day. What they were realizing is that they were able to do 10 appointments a day. So on the customer side of things, what you were able to do is to try and specify your slot. So, am I going to be in the morning, in the afternoon? It's going to be 8 till 5 or whatever. So what we ended up doing is within that booking system is putting an option to say, I'm flexible. So you tick that I'm flexible box. And the last appointment of every engineer's day would effectively be a Russian roulette appointment. So actually, you could have just booked your appointment 10 minutes ago. And actually, because of when you've booked it, an engineer becomes immediately available and then comes and installs it straight away. So every day, we were doing this big surprise for one customer with one engineer every day. And from a sort of elegancy, the choreography of how you begin to do that together, and you combine that with the idea of surprise, even for the most unsexiest stuff, you can really make a big difference and sort of, elevate your service and your experience above the basics. And then the fifth sort of area is often people, we live in a world where the expectation is that the services are increasingly personalized, as we interact with services predominantly through digital means. We know that data is super important to personalized services. But one of the sort of art of great service design when it's enabled by digital is how you can become responsive and preemptive to the needs of that person. So whether that be there's a supermarket brand within Dubai, and what they're looking at is specific smart stores that are much smaller, much more local, embedded within neighborhoods. So imagine you're sort of moving from a hypermarket all the way through to this sort of local store. But this local store is so data driven, it knows exactly what gets bought, exactly when it gets bought. And so therefore, the curation of what's available in that store over time becomes more and more tailored to the people who are shopping there. So in effect, it becomes tailored to the community of shoppers, and you get a satellite of stores that can only stock what is necessary, almost like an just-in-time kind of distribution kind of way. but be hyper personalized to that local shopping community. So that idea of being very responsive, using data to be very preemptive in terms of what you're going to stock when you need to stock it, and also a store like that would be able to understand the seasons. Hey, no one's buying yogurts anymore. Like, why stock the yogurts? So it starts to present some really interesting ideas. So that last idea of how can we make this more responsive? How can we use data to make this more preemptive? They're all things that we begin to stitch into our conversations and our thinking around how to design, surprise, delight, and create these stunning experiences.